Hello everybody, welcome to Nostalgia Goggles. I'm Chris, also known as Retro Gaming Nerd, and I've talked a lot of mess about this game. I talked a lot of mess about Star Fox Zero in my episode of Star Fox Assault, and I even said that I should give it a try and check it out again. And so I did. So, let's see if it's worth me talking mess, or if I'm wrong. So the story of Star Fox Zero is the same story as Star Fox proper and Star Fox 64, with, like, some additions to it, obviously. The thing that they kept saying is it is a revised story or something similar to that, where it's really just nothing new. And even then, realistically, the biggest difference between Star Fox proper and Star Fox 64 is if Star Wolf is in it or not. There was a monkey named Andros, which was a great scientist, depending on the story that you want to go with. He was eventually banished to Venom, and eventually decided to get revenge on the Lilac system, and eventually caused a war, which is known as the Lilac Wars. There's more to it than that, but in reality, that's just the same story. The reason why I'm being lazy with this one is because Nintendo was lazy with this one. If you watched my Star Fox Assault video, you can kind of know how I feel about retreads of stories, and this one kind of really just sucks, because if you're somebody that's a Star Fox fan, you're coming off of Command or Assault, which had a new story. So it kind of sucks, especially if you're coming off of Command, because Command had multiple endings in it. So I can see where somebody would be upset with the lack of story here and the retreading of Star Fox 1. And I mean, I guess I would say that it did something interesting, but I honestly had to look up the story of this one because it is just the same story as 1, so this is not what you're here for. The story is definitely not what you're here for. So with that being said, let's move on to the gameplay. So in my episode of Star Fox Assault, I talked a lot of mess about Star Fox Zero. And even then, I didn't feel 100% right doing it, and this video proves that I didn't need to. Realistically, Star Fox Zero is a downright awesome game, but a game that does not reinvent the wheel, which is kind of a cause of frustration. But then again, isn't that really what we've been asking for all of this time? Isn't that something that we've been kind of wanting to happen for the Star Fox franchise? Don't we just want Star Fox? And that's what this game did, with some new and exciting kind of concepts. For instance, giving us the land mode for the R-Wing and giving us a new vehicle. The new vehicle itself is a little bit clunky, so I don't want to talk about it too much. It does add for stealth, and I think that that's nice, but I don't know. I just don't really 100% enjoy it. But what I do enjoy is the reintegration of the Landmaster and the R-Wing. I really like the land mode of the R-Wing. I really wish that it had more of that, but in truth, this is just realistically Star Fox. And I think that that's kind of what I said before perplexes me. And I think the only reason why this game didn't succeed is because it is on the Wii U. 1, the Wii U didn't sell too well, and 2, the concept of how you play this game is scary. The way that you play this game is you use the gamepad to aim. You do not need the gamepad to aim. Actually, you will not see gamepad footage because it doesn't translate pretty well to the screen. I'd have to record it separately. You can probably just play the game by looking at the screen alone, and I feel like you're missing out a little bit because it misses out on precise aiming, but I don't know, I just feel like the game itself is interesting, and dare I even say fun to a degree. I really had a good time with this game. There was nothing about it that I really did not like, except for maybe some of the stealth sections, and kind of how clunky it does feel. I like what it does. I like the fact that there is a more precise way to aim within this game with the gamepad. I like how they used it. It would have just been boring if they didn't, but I don't know if that's enough for me to say, yeah, this makes the game completely different than other Star Fox games. Hell, argumentatively, you can just port this game over to the Switch or whatever's next and get probably the same experience at the end of the day. And that's kind of what sucks here. I wish that I had the ability to pull off another rant and go, see, this is bad because they didn't, but who cares? Nintendo's not gonna watch this video, and even if they do, they're not gonna care about what I said, and I don't even know if a lot of people are gonna care even with me going on that big rant, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. right? It's one minor thing that I feel like argumentatively, yes, is probably impressive technically, that they managed to have both screens working simultaneously, because that sounds like that'd be a development pain, but I don't think a regular person like me would look at that and go, yeah, that's super impressive, that's really cool. It just, the only thing I take away from it is that I like that you're able to aim in a more precise way, but it does cause disorientation. And the reason why I'm keep looping what I'm saying is because this game is nothing really new to the Star Fox formula, which you can say is bad, but like I said before, that's just what we're asking for. I feel like easily this game could be ported and no one would be upset. I feel like it'd be great if it was. I feel like all in all, Star Fox Zero is a game that just had a bad shake, and if Nintendo just let go of their pride and ported the game without a more precise aiming, it'd probably be a great game for the next Switch or the Switch itself. I don't know if the game would work without it. I don't know how they do it, but they've managed to do other stuff before, like porting DS games and 3DS games to consoles. So I think it's possible, you know, it's heavily possible. Who knows? All in all, I like what it has, but I don't know if realistically it changed enough to matter to some people. With that being said, let's move on to presentation. Star Fox Zero's presentation is beautiful. I think that it does a really good job at conveying Star Fox, and it does a really good job at just realistically existing in the modern era of what Star Fox could be. I absolutely love the land version of the R-Wing. I don't know what it is about it, but I thought that there was like an amiibo or some kind of toy that existed for it, and if there was one, I would definitely love it. I like how it looks. I like how the R-Wings look. I like how the characters look. I like everything visually about this game. Audibly as well, it sounds like Star Fox, and it does a great job at embodying Star Fox. This is a great modern Star Fox, but then again, that's nothing new. Star Fox has been doing a good job at being modern for such a long time, which is what perplexes me at the end of the day on why we don't see more of it. Star Fox has never not looked good. Debatably, you can debate about Star Fox Command, because there are some definitely odd choices within character models and other things about it, but that game still looked good, at least in the gameplay department. No, but coming back to Star Fox Zero, this game just looks great, and it always looked great. I feel like what I said in the gameplay, the thing that deters people is probably the gamepad, and yes, the gamepad does look fuzzy, but I think that that's just kind of the flaw of having a screen like that being constantly playable. It's not as powerful as the console, that's inevitable. So I feel like kind of forcing yourself to look at it is gonna kind of be a problem at the end of the day. But despite that, by looking upwards and what you see, I think this looks great. I love it. I'd love to see an HD version of this at some point, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know how Nintendo feels about this game, and I don't know how many people do feel about this game. So with that being said though, none of it really matters at the end of the day. It does not matter how good this game looks. And that's something that's something people say a lot, but this is a perfect example. It does not matter how this game looks when the gameplay is terrifying and confusing. So with that being said, another thing that's important is the price of this game. So let's talk about the accessibility. So when it gets right down to it, this game only came out for the Wii U, and there are two versions of this game. There's the generic, just regular game itself, which will go for about $16 to $20, and then there is the collector's edition or the bonus edition, which comes with the game Star Fox Guard. I have not played that game. I owned a copy of it, but I don't now. So like, I have no clue, in truth, how that game is, and I will not talk about that one unless you ask, but that one will set you back about $24 to $30. They're kind of realistically interchangeable. I'd argue buy the Star Fox Guard version because it's going to be pretty much the same price no matter how you have it, and I think that that's very interesting, I guess. All in all, I think Star Fox Zero is very easy to get your hands on, but I don't know if realistically the prices that are given to you are worth your time. If you like Star Fox and you're collecting Star Fox, or if you're a Wii U collector, definitely get it now. I have no clue what the market for the Wii U is, nor do I think that there'll ever be one, but if there is, this is the time to get the games. They're at their cheaper place. So with that being said, let's move on to the goods and the bads. This is one of those episodes where I feel like I've said everything positive that I can, and I don't want to sound too repetitive near the ending, so I guess let me just kind of make a list. I like the way that this game plays. It feels really nice, but then again, that's nothing new because it's really just Star Fox. I don't mind the gamepad, and to a degree, I even think it's fun, and I think taking it out if they make a port would kind of suck a little bit. I think that the music is great, and I think that the way this game presents itself is great, but that's all that I can really say. It's realistically just Star Fox, and that's great and all, but it's Star Fox on the wrong console. The Wii U didn't do too well, so I feel like a lot of people didn't want to play this game, and one of the things that scared many people away is the gamepad itself. With that being said, let's move on to the bads. I feel like going all in with the gamepad as the aiming is kind of the scariest thing that this game did. Is that bad? No, but for some people I can see it as being bad because it does cause disorientation, especially with the Landmaster. For me, that's where I had the most issues because it doesn't feel like it caters to that kind of control scheme. It might have just been me. When you are in the R-Wing, it's fine. When you're on the R-Wing in land, it's okay as well. It feels like realistically this game has a good gameplay mechanic and a good gameplay feel, but it takes time to get used to. And for a console that was so iffy as the Wii U, I don't think that going all in on the gamepad was the wise decision. It's not something that will break the game for me, but it definitely could break the game for many people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think having to split your attention between two screens, at least two TV-like screens, is kind of an issue. Is an issue for some people. It's not something that many people would really want to do. And I definitely think that it was a giant risk, and a giant risk that did not pay off. Yes, this game is just Star Fox. Yes, this game looks good. Yes, this game sounds good, but with one terrifying mechanic or one terrifying gimmick, it could definitely turn many people off, and I think that that's what this game did. Does that mean that you shouldn't give it a chance? No, but I can definitely see where if this is what you do not like, I can see it just kind of being where you stand. No matter how good the gameplay is, no matter how much I say that it's good, I could exactly see why somebody wouldn't pick this game up. It's exactly why I didn't pick this game up. And so, with that being said, let's move on to the final thoughts to figure out how this all ends. So, is Star Fox Zero really that bad? And is it worth what I said in Star Fox Assault? No, I don't think it's that bad, but I can't really say this version of the game holds up. I think that maybe if they got rid of the first-person controls, if they got rid or integrated it somehow into another way to play it, I guess, I can say that maybe this game would be worth it, but I have no honest clue. There isn't that. That doesn't exist. We don't have a Skyward Sword kind of fix to this game, so there's no real way of guessing. I enjoy this game, but that doesn't mean that everyone will. That doesn't mean that I cannot see the issues. There definitely is them, and the gamepad is one of the biggest issues. It does definitely create a disorienting game experience. It's been that way with my partner and many other people that have talked about this game, and honestly, I have to agree. I got over it. I got used to it. But I don't think everyone will, and I can't blame you for not. Even with that being said, in truth, that's not even the biggest issue with this game. One of the biggest issues with this game is the fact that it just is Star Fox all over again. Nothing new. You can play Star Fox, or you can play 64 and get the same experience. With that being said, though, how do you feel about this game? Do you think the hate is warranted? I don't, but you may. And if you do, please leave your comments in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys here next time on Nostalgia Goggles. Bye!